me get my cans on, everybody. Bear with me. All right, we're back with another episode. First, the sponsors. Head over to www.johnbartoloshow. Check out a complete list of the sponsors there. I want to thank a few of them now. Gallo Technology, Rhino Metals, Blackwater Ammunition, Pulsar Thermal Imaging Technology, Right On Optics, Volquartsen Firearms, Pelican Products. Go check out Pelican Products. Inforce Weapon Lights, Kenzie's Optics. If you're shopping for optics, go check out Kenzie's. They have Pulsar, they have Right On, they have everybody. Go check them out. Special shout out to them. Special shout out to Scott Volquartsen. Can't thank him enough. I want to thank all you guys, everybody who listens. Please leave reviews. I do a terrible job asking for reviews. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate all you guys. Please tap thumbs up and do all the good things. Love you guys. I want to take a minute and introduce my guests. I'm really excited. They started an ammo company. I can't wait to get into that. My audience, you know the appetite I have for the ammo industry. You gotta know where all the bodies are. We'll get there. But I'm really excited. And I don't even know where to begin. I got two people that I'm excited to get into the conversation with because they're starting the business together as a couple. If that's not a recipe for disaster, I don't know what is. But let's see. Can I call you guys the Bates family? Is that fair?
Yes.
Totally fair.
Is that fair?
Totally fair.
Listen, I love having you guys on. We just played the name game trying to put the connections together. So I'm excited about this and what it could mean and what you guys are doing. What the tell everybody a little about yourself and how the fuck you ended up in the ammo business and what you were thinking getting into the ammo business.
Who should go first?
You want me to go or you?
Go.
I think, okay, well, hi guys, I'm Dianna. I'm Ryan Bates' wife, and
she's hot. Big butt.
Big butt, big booty Judy. You know what? I think that I just had a killer life, and he had a security company, and we met at an event, and then all these years later, almost 9 years later, ammunition gets thrown in our lap, and here we are. So we started it, and it's killing it, and we're pumped.
What's the name of it?
Canoe Club USA.
Okay. Get that out there loud and clear.
Canoe Club.
Now, who came to who with this idea? That's what I want to get to.
You know what happened is I had a buddy that is doing really well in the ammo game. Has been in it for the last 8 years, and we had a good following on social media.
Isn't doing well in the ammo game though? It's like saying like I'm doing really good in the coke game. Like
honestly,
it's like right now, it's like heroin.
we have drop offs every day where I drop off in the middle of a parking lot. And I
you feel like you're doing something wrong.
Like 50 people there. 50 people there.
Dude, I popped my trunk open, my little Lexus, and I'm like, come on, get it, y'all. Come and get it.
And they'll be out there. And so I had this guy like from China and be like, I love America. And he's buying some
oh my God. They love it. Yesterday was our biggest pickup. We had like 12 because, local Vegas.
Sure.
So you could.
I need to get on that list.
Yeah, come on over. So you come pick it up, and Ryan's just completely bombarded with 12 people wrapped around the truck. And he's just like, holy shit.
So you guys get into this ammo thing.
Yeah.
And you told me, Ryan, you saying this, you're blind in this. Like, this is new to you.
Honestly, like, I know I was a team guy.
But that's a huge misconception.
But I didn't know. Yeah, I saw the opportunity. And I always have a saying, you pick opportunity over passion, bring your passion to the opportunity. So an opportunity arose, and then I was like, hey, babe, let's jump in this. And I brought 2 other SEALs with me, Johnny LeBlanc and Andy Arabito. And we all do it together, and and so we had a good following on social media, so we just started slanging it, and then we do it. Diana does the customer service, I do the packing. Yesterday, I think we threw out about 400,000 rounds in one day, and we keep our margins really low, and we move in massive volume.
You can't get rid of it fast enough.
No, you can't.
Right.
Like right now, we're moving like 1.5 million, 2 million rounds a week.
Now, you know how we got into the components problem. I started to tell you.
Yeah.
The components issue was the direct. So the ammo companies are most of the, not you. I'm removing you from this.
Yes.
Most of the big ammo companies are complete scumbags. So
honestly, most of the ammo world is kind of
complete scumbags.
Yeah.
So the CEO of Federal is a total douche. The CEO of they're total douche.
Oh, I don't know him.
I know.
Okay.
So I know of him. I know what he's done. So the reason they drove up the prices on all of us across the board is because they had the opportunity to do it. So when components dried up after the Remington deal, and they did that to motherfuck their competition and say, okay, fuck you, because it's really actually a monopoly. And they raised prices at Winchester and they raised prices at Federal at the manufacturer level while it was all blown up at the retail level. Genius, right?
Yeah.
And they basically said, we're going to make it really difficult to get components. And then they turned around and tried to blame it on the influx of new shooters. As if we don't arm an entire military with ammo. Like, we're having an ammo shortage. Are you out of your fucking mind that we having an ammo shortage? We have the largest manufacturing capacity in the planet. Yet we're having an ammo shortage. People believe that. But that was sold to them through PR through Winchester, PR through Federal, and fuck those guys. But besides that, you have an industry that doesn't support the little guy in so many ways, which makes it incredibly difficult for you to get in this industry, but you've done it. And you've done it successfully, and that's a testament to you guys and how hard you push. And I think the retail ammo industry has a lot of advantages if you can source properly.
If you can get resupplied, that's it. That's everything.
That's everything. But you're learning fast. And the misconception always is that a SEAL has the answer, right? And that's a good thing. That's the mystique that's come with it. And that's why I've been a big, Jack and I have talked about that. This has been discussed. What I never understood in the industry is why, like, whenever there's a 2A issue, aside from military, 2A issue, they're like, let's put a Navy SEAL on. The fuck does a Navy SEAL have to do with the Second Amendment? I understand that you guys go over there and defend our rights. But what I'm saying is, I've had like Ray, I'm sorry, I love you. I've had like Ray call me about like NFAs. The misconception is that you guys are experts at all things.
No.
Yeah,
I mean, that is, but like, we are definitely not. You know, what's funny is like,
at first you accept it, and then like as you get older, you're like, I don't know.
No, I mean, I even say that all the time. Like, I was a sniper in Afghanistan, and I could shoot straight. Do I
total
know about,
badass motherfucker? No question.
John gun Wick. Out there? Do I
no
know,
question.
Do I know every gun out there? No, I don't. Like, I don't even know the rounds half the time. I'm learning every day, right? I honestly, most of this ammo world is all about relationships, right? So if I meet people that are close to the source, I'm happy, go lucky, I work hard, grind it, and they want to do business with me because I can move it, you know? So that's how you get in.
And you have a hustle to you. I see it already.
Yeah.
In the 40 minutes you've been in here, you have a hustle to you.
We hustle like a motherfucker, dude.
But the SEAL thing is so funny. It's like on the news, it's the way the news looks at it. They're like, we have a problem. Let's put a SEAL on.
Yeah, I know. You know, even when I got in the teams too, it was last moment. I didn't like have this dream of being a Navy SEAL my whole life.
Don't say that out loud. People will think.
You know, I was
he didn't even know what a Navy SEAL was when he went into the Navy.
And I was like, what is this? Oh, that's cool. Let me get into this. And then, you know, and that was before. This is 1999. It was before like you know all the Buds class and all the stuff that's on social media and the books and everything. And I was just like, what?
You mean you didn't watch Navy SEALs with Charlie Sheen and things?
I did watch that. Come on.
It's so terrible. It's the worst movie ever.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's the best movie ever, man.
It's not Charlie Sheen's worst effort. He's had worse, but wow.
I mean, he walked into the stream of bullets, man. He's the coolest guy in that whole movie.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
And honestly, a lot of SEALs are pretty close to Charlie Sheen. I mean, they're not.
What is the worst SEAL movie? Under Siege, probably, right? That's horrible.
Ryan can't even watch SEAL movies.
Yeah, I don't watch what. If you noticed out there, I have the Funko doll. If you've been in the bathroom, I'm not a war movie fan.
Yeah.
I just don't like them. I like westerns and I like Die Hard.
How deep in conversation can we get here? How
as deep as you want.
We got to tell him the story about how we're watching. What was that one movie with the Luttrell, based off the Luttrell?
Oh yeah. That, but see, Marcus.
No. But the story is.
This is when we first started.
There's a lot of creative liberties.
Listen to me. The one thing about being a team guy, like I always use it to try to get laid and try to get in there. You know, it's like my number one thing, right? So
it's the move.
So like I started dating her, and she's like,
I didn't know what a SEAL was.
She was grade A, and I'm like, no, this is trying to teach her about it. And I throw on that Marcus Luttrell movie or whatever, Lone Survivor. And she's like watching, all crying. She's like, yeah. I was like, let's bone now, baby.
Yeah. And I full blown.
Start
bawling my eyes out during the bone down. Yeah, during the bone down. It's playing in the background.
It's a movie. I love how everybody after tried to criticize Margaret. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's a movie, guys. By the time it got to Hollywood, like, okay, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Like, Bloodsport was fake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, regardless of what you think of the Kumite.
When people always say, like, how real was American Sniper? I'm like, dude, it's a fucking movie.
It's a fucking movie. No spotter is ever going to sit there and say, they'll put you in Leavenworth. Like, that is the dumbest line. That's worse than I am an FBI agent. Like,
You know, I do want to see when because I deployed with Eddie Gallagher, the guy that got hemmed up.
Shout out to Eddie.
Yeah, shout out to Eddie, man. Everybody's sporting.
We love
him.
the Gallaghers, dude.
I love
His wife's
Gallagher's, man.
badass.
He's a freaking gnarly warrior, man.
I wanted to have him on. A lot of people are like, why haven't you had Eddie on? I'm like, he told the story 95 times. I got to wait 2 years till it dies down. I'm like, he's already done the circuit.
No, but freaking, I can't wait till he comes out with his movie. You know, I'll tell a good story about Eddie real quick. It's pretty good. We were in Afghanistan, and you walk by these whales all the time that go about 60 feet down. Well, we cracked a chem light next to it at night. One of the Terps kicked it in. Eddie didn't see it. Fell 30, 40 feet to the bottom of the well. Had a 50 cal on his back. Sunk to the bottom. Had to take off his gear. Float to the top. Did the whole op. Then dove down at the end. And this is December. Dove out at the bottom. Got all of his stuff, and we extracted it out. Honestly, he's a freak of nature. That kid, man.
That's the thing. What I want to say is I appreciate the balls. And in that community, it really is a hard nose. But for some reason, somewhere along the way, like I said, the media got it twisted where it's like, put a Navy SEAL on.
Yeah.
Put a Navy SEAL on. Put a Navy SEAL on. And I think that's great. And I think it's great for the community. But when you're around someone that says, hey, I don't have all the answers, I'm trying to figure this shit out too, that's important too. And I think somewhere along the way, the media fucked you guys up a little bit.
Honestly, yeah. The books and the media, they definitely...
Everybody trying to make a buck off the...
Yeah, dude. The Osama bin Laden hit. Yeah.
Because now what it's created is you don't feel like you're making enough off of it. You're like, I'm missing out. I got to write a book or something, you know?
Honestly, I never wanted to, I guess, make money off the Trident. Obviously, I'm a team guy, and we have a company as an ammo company, but I don't use the Trident in any way to do it.
No, you're subtle. Even I had to do some digging. I saw some of the people that commented, and I'm like, there's a frog here. He uses frog, man. I'm like, something's up. So, like, I'm on the phone with Jack Carr. I'm like, Jack, you know, he's okay. Okay. All right. Like, there's always that. Like, because you don't, in this industry, you don't want to get motherfucked by, there's a lot of guys that, like, run around and because they went to Buds think they're a SEAL, and there's a lot of that goes on, and that's rabid. You guys deal with it the worst out of anybody. You get a lot of that, but it's unfortunate. It comes with it, and it comes with the blessing of making it through that shit.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. But everybody knows I don't really like to talk about the past. I want to talk about going forward with you guys and what that begins to look like. Now, you came from a fitness background,
right?
Which is crazy. So this is all fish out of water for you. I mean, you didn't grow up around guns, did you, or did you not?
No, I mean, we had a gun in the house, but it definitely, like, we grew up in Temecula, California, where the Marine base is down in Oceanside. Right. And when me and my girlfriends would go out on the weekends, it's like the Marines would come up to our local bars and like, oh, this guy's a douchebag. This guy. So when we met, and he was just like, oh, I was in the. Or he was like, oh, I've been, I'm a Navy SEAL. I was like, what's that? Are you a Marine or something? He's like, what the?
It's the highest level of formal training you can get.
Exactly.
It's exactly what it is. There's a mental toughness that comes out of that. Mm-hmm. And it's an honor. And to be in that house with the structure he's used to, mm-hmm. And be around that, it's good and bad. And that's the thing.
It's funny too. Like the first night we met, like she was like, "Show me some stuff, this kind of stuff." And I just got done off of
kung fu.
Yeah, no, I got done, and we just had that huge piracy attack on the Eagle Avocet. It's all actually on YouTube, and like freaking, we smoked like 18 dudes, right? And we got it on helmet cam. So I'm like showing her. She's like, "Oh yeah."
I'm like, oh, this shit's legit. This isn't a movie.
Right.
This isn't a movie.
Josh Cortez said he's only here for the frogman. That's rude.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
That is rude. What's up, Daryl? That is rude. Lord Vader, how are you?
My gosh.
So
they really are only here for him. I'm lucky.
No, because it's interesting to me how you got kind of roped into it. You know that there's like a dinner time conversation that somewhere went fucked up that he's like, we're going to sell ammo. And you're like, oh shit.
It's so funny because I actually pushed him for a number of years to do it.
Oh, look at you.
His buddy was like, because I have my own company. I've had it for 5 years. It's really successful. I own it with my best friend. And so we know the logistics. We know all the website stuff. We know how to work.
How to navigate it.
Yeah, we know customer service. We just know all that. And I kept telling him, you are a mile ahead of anybody else because I already have all your logistics figured out. I already have your customer service. You don't have to
100%
figure
right
it
about
out.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're miles ahead of this. I'm like, do it. So when he was protecting a wealthy person for a number of years, and when he decided to step away,
Well, I mean, you get caught in that job and it pays well. right? You get comfortable, and it kind of takes away your ambition, I guess.
You mean you don't take like the David Goggins approach, like you have to be like uncomfortable 24/7?
I know. No, I
Fuck
do not.
my
Even
life.
though, hey, listen to me, Dave Goggins, I went through your AW course. It was the most miserable thing I've ever went through in my life. I was pissing myself at the end. So
Yeah.
he was a gnarly freaking trade at. Definitely
Constantly
100%.
uncomfortable.
Constantly. If you're not miserable, you're not growing.
Yeah, it's like an
How
Andy.
about Jocko? How about Jocko? Good.
Everybody always asks me about Jocko and Andy. Like, do I listen to their shows? I think they're like Andy Frisella. They have great shows. I'm not super involved with them, and I don't like listen to their shows because I can't take all the screaming.
Oh,
you guys.
Oh, we haven't.
It's too intense. Like I feel like if I didn't brush my teeth the way they say, like I'm in trouble. I'm looking in the mirror.
I was with Jocko the last year I was in the teams, and
It's a tough son of a bitch.
I mean, I trained with him a lot of years too. Like we both trained jiu-jitsu under Dean Lister and did some stuff.
You got his black belt. Did you get yours from Dean, or did you get one or no?
No. I only did no-gi.
Dabbled.
Mostly. Yeah, dabbled. But no, I trained a lot. I got most of my belts under Barry Yoshida. Mm-hmm. So freaking. But anyways, I always had a really good relationship with Jocko. And at Brad Cavander's funeral, he comes up. We're all getting hammered, right? And this big dude comes walking up and down, and it's like, who's that guy? He's just drinking a pitcher of water. Like, comes up to a little kid. He's like, what you drinking there? Coke? That's a lot of high
fructose corn syrup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
it
checks
does.
him. He checked him.
That's 37 grams of high
He
fructose.
checked the little 8-year-old
Yeah.
on the way up, and he's just guzzling some water. And my dad is like, what the fuck?
It would have been hilarious if like the 8-year-old dropped low and got his eagle on and was like clapped back at him like fuck you, man, I'm 8 and ran away. Like,
I always
Eddie
laugh too.
Gallagher's son would have said
It would
that.
have said
It was Eddie
that.
Gallagher's.
That would be funny.
The funny too is Jocko is exactly how he was.
Yeah.
And he was just like that in the teams too, man. I mean, I love the guy, man. He's a hard charger. Hard charger.
There's a lot of interesting characters in your immediate circle of influence, if I put it gently. There's a lot of interesting personalities,
Yep.
and a lot of alphas came out of that run of guys too.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Yeah, even our, you got to think, Beto, Gallagher, and me were all in the same deployment on that thing. So a lot of good guys around that time.
Yeah,
So-
that whole crew, Dom, like a lot of the people in your similar age group, it reminds me of when what's his face thing there, all the Rangers came out and started getting into the gun business.
Oh, the black rifle coffee.
Yeah, all those guys, and then even before them, you had Larry Vickers. You had that whole crew that got into the business. It's an interesting crowd. It's almost like a graduating class. Like that's like a great crew of a mix.
It's all kind of around the war fighting time. You know?
Yeah,
like that was
like it's a good mix of
99
dudes.
to 2011. That was like a lot of wars going on during that time. You know?
Amen.
So
But you see the trends, and D, I know you probably see it. Like fitness, the shows and everything, and the culture around some of that stuff is starting to die. Like it's been dying since Flex Magazine pulled out and everything
Right.
else. And it's the same in the gun industry. You've had the NRA and the NSSF, which have been NSSF's done a lot better, but the NRA has been a total abomination and have fucked everything up. And then you see it with the IFBB and how they've structured some of the shows. The shows are hard. Like Arnold was trying to save the shows, then he makes a fucking dumbass statement.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Right.
what the fuck?
Why
Like,
would he do that?
because
Idiots.
you know he grew up differently, and we all get that. Like
Yeah.
there's that barrier. Plus he's old now,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying weird shit. And I understand the industry's not going to forgive him. He's put more into bodybuilding, and he shouldn't be remembered for that because we both know he didn't mean that. And that's
Yeah, yeah.
just a dumb statement that flew out of his mouth. And he's trying to PR it back to like zero.
Is he trying to?
Yeah, he came out with a statement after like I didn't mean it like that. And
I've
blah.
met him a lot. I actually really like him as a person. So I was like, what the fuck? Why would he say that shit, dude?
You know he's old. Like once
yeah.
you see, the problem is these guys, once they start coughing and sneezing into boogie rags at breakfast, like they stop giving a shit. And you know what I mean? Like it's just they reached a point. Arnold's what, 80?
No, he's
70.
70.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's older.
Yeah.
so like he's at the point where he's just like, get the vaccine because someone told him, you know, we'll pay you. Some
Yeah, one-
actors guild's probably paying
yeah.
him to say that. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
all,
you know, he's in that area where, you know, you got to be cool. And Hollywood's all about the
Hollywood.
vaccine. It's crazy to me that they are that. It's just like, do your research, man. Do your research. You're taking some shit. You're pumping yourselves full of
She's-
stuff that
Diana's
is not.
hardcore. Diana's hardcore because we went out to Havasu as
As everything's opening back up last June.
and we all got COVID because she
We
was
all
dancing on the
got
floor,
COVID.
and twerking pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I got it.
We
Listen,
all-
we had it for
Listen.
14 days. We were KO'd, man, on the couch, laid out.
Yeah.
Kid was
Listen.
living on the iPad 24/7.
get your eagle on. That's it. That's
We got
it.
dirty. We got dirty.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's
Yeah.
called vacation. Now, I'm excited because I think you guys coming into the ammo business is what the ammo business needs. It needs some good, wholesome, independent manufacturers and folks getting into it that I think can offer a fresh perspective, because the marketing in the gun business is terrible, as you know. It's fucking awful. I blasted Davidson's the other day, one of the biggest distributors in the gun industry. They're doing a show. They have like one gun on the wall. You know, like there's like, it's just companies don't get it because the gun industry is just overrun with too many old white guys.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, think about it. You know this. Think about this. You know media. There's too many. There's a gap between the 35, 30 to 45-year-olds that have really started to understand media and understand how to use media to make a living.
Yeah.
And then you have the 55-year-old guys. There's too much of a gap, and those guys are in charge. I don't know a guy over 60 that understands what's going on with streaming, with Twitch, with all these different avenues that we have available to us to take advantage of. When you sit with these guys, they still think the path to make money is to throw a show.
Yeah.
That's a carnival.
Absolutely not.
The $20,000 for a booth. Imagine putting that into media.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So they don't get it. And explaining it to them, they still see the short-sightedness of where it's going when everybody's going into streaming. You think Jeff Bezos is stupid?
Yeah.
Do you think the CEO of Disney is stupid? Why do we see so much M&A activity in streaming?
Right.
That's the way that it's going. And the NRA has failed us. They've not given us a platform big enough to speak to. So it's a problem. It's a huge problem. So when you come into this business, there's a lot of barriers of entry. There's a lot of holdups. And some of them are sourcing. Not knowing where to get started and source. That's why having her is so critical. But you see what I mean? Because you eliminate the logistics, like you said, the little things. You know where all the crumbs are to follow.
Oh, yeah.
And part of the problem is that disconnect when you sit in a meeting with those guys and you start explaining what streaming is, what it can lead to, the different types of avenues that you can go down media-wise and marketing-wise, you run into such a roadblock because they want to buy, like Daniel Defense, but Marty does a better job, but they want to buy a urinal cake in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like they think that's marketing. That's a different component. So you're up against that animal of old school. We can buy a banner at a match.
Do you think that's why like America's slowly getting kind of disarmed right now, is because the new generation is not getting into as much?
It's a great question. No, I think we're going to lose, and we're going to lose huge.
Think so?
Oh, fuck yeah. We're going to lose all our gun rights. You know why?
Yeah.
Democrats aren't stupid. We're just dumber.
Yeah.
We're just dumber. I'm going to tell you why we're going to lose.
Democrats are so good at media and how they know how to just make it look
they're good at
so
blood
bad.
sport.
I'm going to throw this at you, Bates. Listen to this. We're going to lose because you have people like Charlie Kirk that get up there and they want to argue with people over the meaning of AR-15.
Yeah.
That's why we're going to lose. And I love Charlie. He's been on the show. Charlie's a huge asset to the party. But here's the problem. That's not the argument. That's not the fight. We're going to lose every time when we have that argument. How about winning people over by saying, do you want to give up your Second Amendment? Let's start there.
Or do you want to give up your First Amendment?
Or do you want to give up your First Amendment? I was going to get there. But you see what I mean. The dilemma is we fight the war on the worst front to win.
Well, I mean, that's honestly, I'm kind of thinking of it that way too. Like, people, the defense, your First Amendment is defended by your Second Amendment, right? If you start telling people that, and that it's patriotic to have a gun in your home, train with it, be armed, and then know how to use it, not for self-defense.
And we screw up the debate by putting a Navy SEAL on TV to talk about Second Amendment rights because...
Why?
Why wouldn't we put an FFL owner? Their money's affected directly by it. They're mostly family-owned businesses. We never see an FFL owner or a CEO of a gun company ever speak on the news. And they're the most directly affected by gun laws next to the citizenry. Why? Is a Navy SEAL ever going to be affected by a gun law?
No. What do you mean? Like, if I own it, yeah. If I have
if you own it personally, but I'm saying active duty.
No.
Never.
No. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like an active duty SEAL going on there. Yeah.
It makes so
you want the people to speak.
I'm saying messaging wise, it's the wrong. It's like putting a fat person on TV to talk about getting in shape.
Yep.
It makes no sense.
Talk about the actual person who's running the businesses that are in the trenches.
So now, I'm going to transition. Now, as a business owner, right? You make ammo. You guys like you, Ryan McMillan, have a great platform to have that conversation. To say you can speak from both sides, as a defender of freedoms as well as a business owner.
Well, right. I mean, I think it's also lost, like the actual the defense of your First Amendment is backed up by your Second Amendment, right? The patriotic duty to own a gun, because your government should be afraid of its people, not the people afraid of its government.
I agree with that.
I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? So people are like, oh, you don't need it. You don't need to defend yourself at home. The police will defend you. It's not for that. It is for the defense of tyranny. It is for your government to know it can't rise above its people. That's what it's for. That's the main reason it's for.
I think if we keep the argument on that, which is a great baseline, right, to keep bringing it back to, and look at the examples of disarmed countries.
Exactly.
Yes.
There's never been a successful one.
Nope.
No.
Absolutely not.
I wish somebody out there would give me an example, but there's never been a successful one. So to me, it has nothing to do with X whatever. It has more to do with putting the right people at the forefront of the conversation.
Of course.
That are directly affected by it. But Fox News fucks it up. CNN fuck them. But like there's certain outlets that they totally take what we're trying to do. Like I can't watch Laura Ingraham anymore at night.
Yeah.
I can't watch it. If I see another segment with Dinesh D'Souza, I'm gonna fucking blow my TV up. Because it's literally like, we get it. You were fucking him. We get it. Like we get it.
Yeah, I know. It's getting.
But that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
That's part of the huge problem. And then we have spokespeople in our industry, people like Dana Lash, people like Colleen Noir. I've never seen Dana shoot a gun. I don't know who listens to her on a radio show. So the people that we have at the forefront of these things,
These arguments, are not
the right fucking people.
Right,
They
right.
never were.
So the problem is that a lot of these mom and pop shops, these FFL owners and everything, they don't have a social media presence. They're in the
Correct.
old school. They just have a storefront.
I like where you're going. Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem here, is that those people who are being directly affected, they don't have a
voice or a
at
platform.
all. So like that's what makes it different
because
about
of the
Ryan
people
and I.
in 60-year-old that don't know how to even market, so that's what they are.
We actually did an Instagram live the other day, and we ended up posting it. It got taken down. Right?
No, I don't think so.
Did it not get taken? No.
Mine got deleted. My Instagram got deleted today. So
Yeah.
If anyone out there can help them get their
please
fucking
help.
my
accounts.
Instagram,
Please
it just
help.
got turned off today. So and I didn't even post anything.
I know, it's crazy, but that's what the difference is, I think, here between Ryan and I, is we're actually kind of educating our customers on what's going on. People are getting all pissed over the weekend. Why are ammo prices skyrocketing? Well, that's what happens when the Biden administration wants to put a ban. People go into a panic buy.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So
And we're
educating our customers.
And we're gonna lose. Because if the Democrats get any intelligence, they're gonna tax ammo.
I don't think we're gonna lose though, man.
100% we're gonna lose.
No way, man. No way, because we have a constitution. I think the Patriots will rise up against it. Not in fighting, but like in actual.
Listen, I think you're out of your mind. You want to know why? You want to know why I think you're out of your mind? Because all the real patriots and the hard-nosed guys that are left, they're all in our age group. They're all 38, 39, 40. We're just getting too tired.
But are we getting older and we're not connecting with the younger group? Because
Yeah.
we
will phase out.
Yeah.
We will phase out.
That's just like the next generation above our age group too. They're all phased out. We don't see them on Instagram. We don't talk to them. We're socializing with
the
people in our
baby
age.
boomer generation that I talked about, the 55s to 70s that are in charge now, that are running shit, they do not want to give up the baby boomer generation has held the presidency the longest out of any
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah.
Think about
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you go all the way back to Clinton forward, the baby boomers motherfucked this country back
look
to the
at-
toilet.
look
You want
at-
to know why? They were all entitled children that came from the World War II generation that inherited the staff,
Yep.
and they literally watch. If you think back even to your command guys, they motherfucked
Yeah,
the
even the
entire
command guys,
fucking thing. Everybody's coming out and saying it. The generals now, they're all fucking retards.
Even the SEAL teams are getting motherfucked by
because
those
they
guys.
all
SEALs, yeah.
because their parents stroked them off their whole life and told them how great they were and gave them everything they didn't have. They lived by that credo. They never did anything with their life, and they're in charge now. They're in charge. Look at Joe Biden.
That's what I was just going to say.
Perfect
Look at
example.
Joe Biden.
He's an easy one to pick on. I don't even want to go there.
Yeah, I can't believe he even got elected. I mean, what the hell is that?
I laughed because Bates, you'll love this. I laughed the other day when he came out with the statement.
Yeah.
Oh, it was only 4 or 5 days. I posted it.
Oh, yeah.
That was so insulting.
Oh,
and we were,
God.
What was
and,
that,
and
4 or 5
I
days
was
ago?
trying
That
to
was 4
say,
or 5 days ago.
and we all did this, right? As Trump voters, because I'll come out and say, we all did this, where we kind of said, okay, let's give him empathy. Let's give him a little. Let's see, empathy. Okay, that was the best. That was the best thing in their campaign. We get an empathetic president. You just looked everybody in the eye and said that was 4 days ago. Say that to the families that are they're dead.
That's 18 hours prior.
Do you think though America doesn't see it? I think they see it. I think it's gonna.
You are high on the evidence.
If you no way, man. I think it's gonna come. I think we're gonna win the midterms.
You don't think even Democrats are seeing what Biden's doing and being like, "This is fucked."
They're gonna double down.
So you think the American?
What about re-election?
Okay. You want to know?
There's no way we can re-elect Joe Biden as president.
You want to know why the fucking Democrats get it right? They pander. Look, when we complain, we don't get what we want in our side of the house. They pander. Don Lemon.
Yeah.
Go look at all the people that host the shows there. That other one, that other one with the hairdo, the one that at night, the female, she's crazy looking and she's nuts. They're all MSNBC and CNN. Go look at them. They will double down and double down and double down. He didn't mean that. Right. This didn't mean. So you can't. When you look at Fox News, everybody's 90. I love Dan, but they got to give Danny a show.
Yeah,
right.
Like Danny needs his own platform.
What do they say? An old Democrat said once, it's with Republicans is blessed nor oblige. Like we have a sense of honor, a little bit of sense of honor, right? But for us Democrats, it's blood sport. Mm-hmm. They'll do it, whatever it means.
Whatever it takes. They will cut your throat and step over the body.
Yep. They will.
I have hope. I have hope.
Well, how do we win? Tell me the angle.
Educating what they got on us.
Yeah, but it's not gonna. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not gonna cut you up. But I'm gonna tell you why it's not gonna work.
Okay, but a young generation is always liberal. As they get older, they get more conservative, right? Because they don't want to lose their money in taxes and that kind of stuff.
The pray and age in theory.
Yes, I think so. As you age, you get a little more wiser. I think so.
When I was 18, I was like, Canada has free healthcare. Oh, you just pay a little bit more. That's dope. I want free healthcare.
I want to give 60% of my money away.
Yeah, now I'm like, oh hell no, you ain't taking a dime.
As soon as you start making money, you turn more conservative. I think so, right? So I mean, I'm hoping. I had this argument the other day, even with people on social media. They're talking about
armies. You do that?
Yeah, a little
Jesus
bit.
Christ.
My biggest thing is like
we don't have arguments. We just converse.
Armies of the world, right? They say the biggest standing army is China, but it's not. The biggest standing army is the American hunter. There's 16 million American hunters that go for tags every day. It's a militia within America. It's why what gives us our voice, what makes us strong, it makes us.
The hunting community is weird, bro.
But you don't understand. But
they're weird.
Guns give us a confidence.
They don't view themselves as part of the tactical community, though.
I know they might not, but they would.
But they're the ones that are going to defend their homes and their properties and all that. If shit breaks loose here on our
I don't think it'll ever
soil.
break loose, but they have a sense of pride. They have a sense of pride, and they have a sense of honor, and they're a sense of confidence that people don't mess with.
The hunters are more organized and they're better. They have good leadership. SCI has good leadership. Laird Hamblin's a good guy. They have a good crew there. And there's a lot of good faces in the gun industry. Guys like Burnsy, Akuyu, certain people out there that are great guys that support that industry, but they view them, the difference is there's a secular nature to hunting where they view themselves as hunters. And they almost see themselves as not part of the fight. I agree with you.
They are, though.
That they are.
They are part of the fight.
But the problem is, in a fundraising capacity, SCI has set that as like an island. And as you know, SCI is the gateway drug to Secretary of Interior, and that's where all some of the idiot sons.
Yeah, they're stroking the people that they need to in order to keep their laws moving forward.
That's where a lot of
doesn't get banned.
Like all those organizations, SCI, NSSF, NSSF, NRA. That's where all like the retarded nephews go to work. You know what I mean? I'm serious. That's where like your uncle was a senator. We got to get him a job, and they put him at the NRA. We'll get him a job at the NRA.
I have a question for you.
Shoot.
What do you think is really going to save the America and the conservative movement? Like, for instance, Donald Trump. I'm a total Trumper, guys. And if you guys don't like that, I don't give a shit. I absolutely love Trump. Do I think that his mouth messed up a lot of things for him?
It was for him to lose that election.
I think he's a hard ass, and you are from his area, right? You're born and raised.
That's why we get along.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. But you guys just call it like it is, right? And a lot of people don't like that because they're offended, right?
I've said it on this show, D. What it is Donald Trump is exactly what we elected. He's a New York City taxi cab driver. He's a real estate guy from New York City. And he's going to call it like it is. He's going to say it like it is.
Love it.
Do I think he should have been banned from social media? No, I do not. And I'll tell you,
the Taliban.
There's way worse. But Twitter's in the bag with Facebook. But those motherfuckers are learning. See, Zuckerberg's learning. They're figuring it out because they're realizing that once we get the house back, they are fucked. They know that now.
Yeah.
They know antitrust laws are going to come in. Publication laws are going to come in.
Yeah.
Right there. We're going to come back
We're
around.
going to get
wow.
the house back.
If you look at how many, we're 100%. We'll look at how many federal judges were elected. How much the country turned red. Don't look at the Senate. Don't look at the House. But how much
You're
it turned
dreaming.
red, dude. It's going to turn red. It's going to turn so red. After
You want me to
these
tell you
midterms.
why? The NRA spent $4.5 million in Georgia on the shittiest fucking Senate election in history.
Yes.
She was a nightmare, and they poured $4.5 million into her election. She was the woman.
The basketball.
Yeah, she was horrible.
Yeah.
And you know why she was horrible? She was put in there by a Democratic governor, obviously. She had to be appointed into the position, from
Okay.
what I understand.
Yes.
So when they appoint you, they fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay? So they gave us a white female in an environment that was totally against her. Never going to work for her. The white female billionaire? On what planet is that going to work when Georgia's flipping and it's purple?
Yeah.
So what do you
Yes.
think the future is of America? You think we're going to turn into what, England?
Doomed.
Doomed?
We're
Just doomed.
we're second rate now. The only benefit is we're not going to live through it. We'll be dead.
Yeah, we'll be dead.
We'll be
If
dead.
anything
Our
happens.
kids are going to have a really hard time with it, but we are going to be a second rate power. Here's what's going to happen. China is going to take Taiwan.
100%.
They're going to show it as a flex. It's going to be a flex. We're
Yes.
going to do nothing. We're going to do zero. We're not even going to come out with a statement. And he knows I'm right. That's why he's not saying anything. We're going to do nothing to stop.
if it
Why do you
happens
think
right
we
now.
pulled out of Afghanistan?
Honestly, that is just beyond
PR.
me.
Yeah, PR.
Beyond me.
We acquiesced to show the world we'll acquiesce. And it was a horrible exit, and he has no one to blame but himself. He shut down the Keystone Pipeline.
Absolutely
He's a
horrific.
disaster.
Dude, this guy's a disaster.
And
And,
then
what's
we
bad
can't
about-
impeach him. You know why we can't impeach him?
Because the
then
media
we'll have
sucks his dick.
Then we'll even have a worse president,
Yeah.
which is Kamala. I say, yeah, impeach Biden, but then at the same
She's
time,
hiding. She's running because she knows it's horrible.
Oh,
What's
dude,
bad
that's
about
ridiculous,
this
man.
day and age is that we forget so quick.
And I'll tell you how we're going to lose.
Is this whole show to fire up the freaking
You.
us?
No.
It's firing me up. All right,
You're
let's
going to
do
start
it.
a new Instagram.
Yeah,
and
dude,
fucking- No, we'll get to a lot of stuff.
am I to raise a militia after this? Because I'm going.
But I do think we're gonna lose because they're gonna tax ammo because they're gonna realize that's the path of least resistance. They're not gonna battle anymore about accessories on guns. If you notice, that's kind of acquiesced a little bit. They're not because they're realizing that's not really the way to go. So they're gonna come at us from our pocketbook and they're gonna tax the shit, and they're gonna tax it till they're blue in the face.
And you know what? I want to just pause right there. Quick thought. Everyone who is asking all the customers of the ammunition industry, we get this question 10 times a day. I'm gonna wait until ammunition comes back down. It ain't
No.
coming back down. I'm telling
'Cause
you that
we
right
saturated
now.
our
Right
market.
now,
Well, no.
So we-
Here's what you say: ammo will be never cheaper than it is right now.
ammo
Never.
that's
Never.
exactly what we say. We
That's
will
what-
say, if you want to get the best deal, you buy the case of
No.
ammo right now and you buy as much of it as you can because this shit is not going down. It ain't going a penny less. It's only going to go up.
And
from
we
here
already
on
have
out.
volunteers for the militia. Daryl, you're in.
Hey, also,
have
too, hey,
volunteers.
another point I want to make too is a lot of people buy a lot of guns, right? I don't believe in that. I believe in having a few guns that you're very efficient with, and then buy shitloads of ammo.
You only need So I have a theory. You only need to own 5 guns.
Yeah,
That's it.
a sniper rifle, shotgun, a pistol, and assault
I
rifle.
said that out
might need
loud
4, yeah,
based on even if you're a person who buys one,
yeah.
you need
Yes.
5. And the reason you need 5 is everybody should own an AK. Everybody
Yeah,
should own a
because
Glock.
Most produced ammo.
Everybody should own an AK. Everyone should own a Glock. Everyone should own an AR-15. Everyone should own a shotgun. And everyone should own a 22.
I always say this too, that, like the most produced rounds. Those are all the most produced rounds: 7.62 by 51, 7.62 by 39, 9mm, and 5.56 223. Get the guns that associate with those because those are going to be the cheapest ammo for the longest time.
Yep.
And then buy a few guns, but then a shitload of ammo and train and be proficient. That's what the teams are like. I didn't have freaking 100
one-
different guns in the teams.
Yeah.
I had a 4 rifle sniper set,
416.
and I had a freaking my M4.
HK.
I had an M4 and I had a SIG at the time, but I never even brought out my handgun. I just freaking sniper in the back with my M4, and I trained and I was proficient at those platforms. So buy a couple guns and a shitload of ammo.
That last bid for the SEAL contract was what? Daniel Defense, HK. I was just trying to
I have
think
no
of it.
idea.
Somebody else. It was Daniel Defense, HK, somebody else. And the HK won again, right? 416 won again. The bid,
Well,
one
I
of the
mean,
bids.
We
just
had
came out.
HKs. We had all.
Because Dom used to love that. He used to say he never cleaned it.
Well, it has that piston assist.
Yeah, it's pissed.
You know what?
It's heavy. It's lumber.
Well, I mean, but when they start jamming, they jam all the fucking time.
Yeah, it's piston driven.
Yeah,
it's gassed.
I like gas.
Yeah, it's heavy
You just got to
gas.
clean it, you know? But
Who wants to clean them?
Yeah, Ryan doesn't clean nothing.
Shout out to Breakthrough Clean, by the way. If you want to clean your gun, use Breakthrough Clean.
Really? Do they have it? Is that, yeah.
So shout out to them.
Man, just be proficient and buy a couple extra barrels. You know, a good thing that everybody's like saying like I don't use steel. It's bad for my barrel and my Glock. I'm like, dude, buy $100 Glock barrel, replace that shit. Get the cheap steel. Let's go. You know?
I mean, those HKs though, they do take a pounding. That's one thing.
HK is a freaking Ferrari, dude.
Yeah, it takes a beating, that rifle.
Well, so do
Keep on going.
Glock. I mean, all guns take a pounding, man.
Yeah.
You know.
And then, we were talking about this earlier. Then you have Sig Sauer, right, which is going to try to come in and produce as much low-cost ammo as humanly possible when the time comes. They're coming. And they're going to come for everybody, and there's going to be no code. Like, literally, when Sig comes into the ammo game and starts sourcing its components a lot better and can run its machines, because I know the hierarchy up there, they're going to be like fucking Blade in the nightclub. They're just going to start slicing everybody up. The major players,
Well, they bought probably most of the primers in this last year.
Oh.
They bought all the primers, man.
Tom's waiting in the weeds to slash a motherfucker. And Tom, I know you're listening. I love you.
Yeah.
I hope you do.
They bought most of the primers. They're gonna crush it, man.
Yeah, they're gonna crush it. But there's it's exciting to see players like yourself come into the game, because I think you can add a lot of value to it, and I think that ammo has a lot to grow. The last maybe 8 or 9 years, I think you can agree with this. I would say soft goods has improved the most. Meaning, like, we can actually buy clothes that we don't look like a fucking retard.
Yes.
Is the short. We can buy backpacks that actually look like low visibility bags. You know what I mean? Besides the bags you'd buy in country or whatever, we have stuff that actually looks halfway decent. Before, it was all mollied out. It was like way too voodoo tactical. Yeah, like exactly.
I'm here to fight the war.
Now it's gotten so much better, but I think ammo has a lot of areas that it can vastly improve, and it can do a lot better.
What are those what are some of those areas?
One, marketing.
Yes.
I think ammo subscriptions, there's no better time now than to sell an ammo subscription.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is number one. I think you're seeing signs of that with brands like Big Daddy Unlimited coming in and starting to sell that subscription-based model.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's no reason
We're
why
asking because we're new to the game. We're going to take these.
Take them. These aren't revolutionary ideas. Our industry's just 10 times behind.
Yeah.
Like you auto order your supplements. You auto order a lot of stuff. Why aren't you auto ordering 9mm?
Well, so the hardest part is it fluctuates so much. So it might change. You might
But that's part of the selling point.
Yeah.
Lock in your price for the year now.
Like a membership, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Let's start that.
And even if you had two options, right?
Yeah.
If you had once a quarter
Yeah.
as a one-time payment, like for the year, or once a quarter or once a month, people would buy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
People would buy. People would enroll if the deal was right, because it's becoming like oil reserves,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So if you took the industry in that direction, you'd have a lot more stability and the ability to create retail sales.
We always say that ammo's like the new gold. It's like
100%.
you got to hoard the shit. It's going to go up in value.
Yeah, but I'll figure out a way. So I've learned
Spoken like a true Navy SEAL. I'll find a way.
A lot of people go in and get out of the ammo game because they can't get resupply. I will find a fucking way to get ammo. It might not always be at the best price, but I'll keep fulfilling those
You got a
orders.
private jet?
Huh?
You got a private jet? We might need it.
We can find it.
If we can,
Find
we
it.
might have to go.
Yeah, we're going to have to go
We
to
can make
some
a lot
other
of money right
countries.
now if we go overseas.
Yes. We got to go.
Did you apply? There was a waiver that you have to apply for to be able to get Russian stuff in for the next year.
No, the importers already the importers that
importers have that.
we're dealing with already got that waiver.
1 million rounds, whatever it is. They were.
We're good for the next 2.5 years, I think.
I'm
I
up
think-
on the State
I think-
Department
I think
shit.
it's gonna. I think it's. And remember that it has to be renewed after a year too.
Mm-hmm.
The people that we're dealing with, we're good for the next 2 years. Now their prices are going to go up though, so it's like that. I was selling that
That
tulip
shitty 7.62 is going to go up. My
yeah.
God.
that stinks like ammonia after you shoot it.
The
Hey,
spam cans.
At least it shoots, man. At least it shoots. Yeah.
Remember those cans? You had to open them up with a fucking bottle, a can opener, like an asshole.
Yeah,
I had like 10 of those in a closet. I'm telling you.
You know what it is too is like in the ammo world, a lot of people hoard ammo and then release it when it jumps up. Honestly, I'm figuring it all out. If people out there, if people
You mean gun industries use gun broker to drive up prices? No way.
it pisses
You
me off.
lying. You're saying breaking news? I can
Well,
tell you
yeah.
10 companies that are on gun broker right now under fake names.
Yeah, man. I honestly, I just
That's
want
a cutthroat world too, because it's like you are on all these distribution sites, and it's like you have people that you could clearly tell making all these horrible reviews about you, and it's like, bro, you've never even placed an order with us. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
it's
just-
like we're constantly having to fight all this backlash on all these websites, writing into the administration.
Well, because our customer service is badass. Shout out to my wife. She's on all. If you talk to our customer service,
You talk direct. Call today.
Yeah.
Call
her
today.
today.
1-800.
I'm just in the
Canoe Club.
garage fulfilling orders like a motherfucker. So.
Right. Don't scoot off screen. You're scooting off
Oh,
screen.
am I scooting off screen?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
get in there.
you're sliding.
That's my thing is it's sitting right in
Move
front
it.
of, right
Move-
here. This
yeah,
thing
move
is in front
down.
of your
You
face.
slide this way. Slide
Okay.
this way, Bates. Come this way.
Go this way.
Scoot this way. Scoot that way. Because
Yeah,
you're
see,
both
this
coming off
thing is
frame.
right
Now
in
pull
front
your
of my
mic
face.
over too. There. Better. Now lean back. Better. So when I change pictures, I want to get you both in the shot. So now how we're going to lose, I feel, is going to go down that road, but it's going to be a 10 or 15 year road. And a lot of it is going to be the acquiescing that we've done. And the problem is the people that we have standing and putting their foot in the ground in the fight aren't the right people
I
because
agree
they
with that.
don't know how to have the conversation.
Yeah,
Because
it's an
they
argument.
because they were created. Okay? The people that you see outspoken about the gun industry and the people that are quote unquote leaders of the gun industry that are out there speaking right now, and I brought one of the names up, there's other names that have been mentioned even in the comments, Dredge, they are not in your best interest. They want to sell mugs, they want to sell t-shirts, they don't give a fuck about the Second Amendment, and they don't give a fuck about freedom of speech. They care about their PR guy and what next show they can be on.
But we
That's
just
what they care about.
Listen to me. That's okay, but we just have to change it.
Tell me how.
Slowly but surely, educate, keep talking. People with platforms and voices that worry about. I honestly believe deep in my heart by giving America ammo, I'm being a good patriot. I really do think that.
Yeah.
I take pride in my job. I stamp. I put a sticker. I stamp every.
But
box.
you're rare and you actually create something.
Well, honestly, I just repackaged something. I haven't even started making.
But you're
ammo
creating.
yet.
But you're creating something. The point is, what are they creating? Like what? Let me ask you a question. Like what is Dana Loesch selling besides a book and a mug? What is Corleone Noir selling besides a book and a mug?
Well, we'll find different people though.
You're putting money back into the industry via taxes, via a number of things in commerce. You have far more legs to stand on than any of those people ever will. And the problem is we're putting those people at the front of the conversation that aren't really creating anything
But-
within the industry. So they don't have a vested interest. You know what they care about? The next appearance that they have to sell more mugs and t-shirts.
So what's going to happen?
Correct,
Man?
but they, on the flip side, they worked in order to get to that point, and now they're like, I don't want to work. My mom.
What work did they do?
They're whatever. Like Colin, he's like posting, nonstop videos, whatever his.
Yeah, he
opinion
walked
is.
the Nosler factory and said that it was hunters that caused the ammo shortage.
Oh Lord, but
And the Nosler CEO let him do it
why?
because he's a fucking idiot. And
Well, at some point,
and they
he
tried to
didn't have
blame
those
hunters.
hookups. He didn't have those hookups, right? He just started filming videos in his.
but he
basement.
shouldn't have them either because he represents
Do you think they're hurting the industry
Yes.
more than helping?
100%.
Why? Because they're given a
Because they don't-
example of what is not to be or what.
Because moving the dialogue forward is about taking your brothers and sisters with you regardless of differences. And as you know,
Exactly.
whether it's the military community, Leo
Not for
community,
self,
everybody
yeah.
wants to measure their dick at the table. Oh, he sucks because of this, or she sucks because of
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And there's never this coalescence where we all come together. And I want to come together. But what are they doing to pull anybody up?
Yeah, I guess.
What do you suggest?
Why doesn't Corleone Noir call you to be on his show?
What, to arm the people?
Anything.
Make sure.
But just you know what I'm saying? There's no pulling.
He might as long as I can sell more.
You have an absolute responsibility as a voice or a platform in the firearms industry to pull your brothers and sisters up within the industry. You would never let somebody in your boat fall out of the boat.
100%.
And you have to look across the landscape and say, who else can we bring up, can we promote? I don't need that. They need to take a look at guys like yourself, guys that are out there doing it, and guys that are out there that are not only served, but also participated within the industry and understand the nuts and bolts of it and give them the microphone. And that's how the torch gets passed.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a guest-based show because I wanted to bring something to the table every time I had a guest on. I wanted to hear the passion that you guys have for why you got in this industry and bring awareness to that. I don't see that from any of those people.
That's
I
crazy.
honestly don't care if you have the most high-end tactical stuff or anything like that. I just want every American to be efficient with the gun they own and arm themselves and practice.
Yeah.
It is your dedication as a patriot to do that.
You know how many
The reason-
moms
the
we've
reason-
actually gotten to buy? They bought a firearm for the first time and ammunition because of these videos that we've been posting, and educating. Like, not every country just has firearms and ammunition for free as a freedom. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we've been doing. I feel like that's what we're contributing to.
It's why we have a
industry.
Huge.
voice. It's why we have a voice in America. It's why we're different from the rest of the countries in the world.
Right.
But I'd like to see more opportunities given to the new guys coming in the business vis-a-vis these platforms that have been built and developed, and we just don't see enough of it.
Give us time.
You know what? The funniest thing is that everyone's actually trying to take the new guy out
Yes.
of the game.
That's part of the
what's
problem.
sick.
That's what I'm
what's
saying.
sick.
There's none of this.
Call your boys.
There's
Call
none
your
of
boys.
this.
Winchester,
I tell them. I
Remington,
tell the NRA. I tell the NSSF. They don't listen.
Yeah, because that's what it really is. It's these guys who get all pissed. Like we got hate mail because
Look at the NRA. They can't even figure out if they should have a show.
Yeah, that's pathetic. But the shitty thing
They
is
have to
we're over
educate.
here selling
Everybody has to
ammunition, and these big guys are like, "Hey, how's finding out through the grapevine? How are they lower than us? How are they lower than us? We're gonna find out everything about them so we can shut them down." It's like,
Yeah, because we only
What's the deal?
we only charge a slide over margin so we can get it out to the people. Because
Yeah.
if you get underneath everybody, you can sell it quick. You know, move it in volume. I mean, obviously we make a little bit of money too, but we make a lot less than people that are trying to take control of the whole game.
I love what you guys are doing. And I think what I'm saying is I think it should be applauded more.
Yeah.
And I think there should be more opportunities for you guys to get to the forefront. But you would think you could go to the NRA or NSSF being and say, hey, I want to get publicity. How do I do that? They look at you like, what? What do you mean?
well, because they just, this older generation, they just don't know how to hire in these newer, younger.
That's the
spokesmodels.
best statement of this podcast so far. Amen to that.
They don't know how to get in this younger generation who knows what they're doing on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the platforms that you guys are created in this world. It's crazy how many are out there, but it's just
Like you see it all day. How many leadership corporations don't know how to use social media? Like SHOT Show's a great example. You've been to SHOT Show, I'm
of
sure.
course, yeah.
SHOT Show could blow up on the internet.
It's horrible.
They could blow up.
It is the worst event. Like what industry event have you ever been to where nobody goes to any of the learning stuff? Nobody goes up. There's no speakers that you're like, geez, I got to go see that guy.
They don't put it in their budgets, just so you know. They think
Budgets. They don't even put it in their brain. Dude.
Yeah, they don't put it in their brain.
Well,
and
they're
they
just
don't
trying
put
to
it
sell
in
their
budget.
product. They think simply.
They're just they're
think
trying to
about
run
the
a
last-
carnival.
Yeah, that's what it is.
How do I sell you this boot space?
Yeah.
All they're doing is they're middlemen.
That's all they want.
Yes.
But
They take up boots. You and I, you know this. I don't have to tell you. You've worked. You can rent a venue, and all they're doing is upselling a space in the
Yes.
venue, and that's how they make their money.
it's real estate. That's it.
That's it. A venue they don't own, which is even more comical. And I have to just say this is going to be a tipping point where they price themselves out of the market. Who's spending $10,000 for a booth, $20,000 for a booth, $30,000 for a booth? It's not worth it. This
ain't
guy will
worth it
tell you it's not worth it. He's
not
worked
worth it
them.
anymore.
I do think
With me.
though that social media has changed the tactical world. Like the things that I went to war with, the shit's 10 times better out there right now.
100 times.
It's 100 times better.
And you
That's-
guys are the biggest gear, you know what's ever.
I mean, I just use what was
You guys
available.
know.
I, honestly, in war, I didn't give a shit. I just put it together, made it work, and freaking crushed the enemy. That's all I cared about. Just fucking crushing bad guys, you know. So I don't care if you gave me a Vietnam freaking style tactical vest, I'd still smoke as many people. You know, that does not matter to me. You know, but spent social media and this Instagram world, they've all competed to make the more efficient thing.
Who makes the best pouch?
Who makes the quickest eject
This-
thing? I'm like, damn, dude.
And you know what my favorite line always was, and I defend all you guys to the death with this, with brands. They're like, you go to a booth, they're like, Navy SEALs use it. They're like, motherfucker, anybody. That is the worst statement ever to come out of a booth.
What the Navy SEAL proved?
Yeah, you ever? I've not gone by anything carbon fiber, any pouch, anything nylon that somebody
Navy
hasn't
SEAL.
said to me.
God, are we
You don't
ruining the
understand.
world,
We're
so-
talking to the SEALs. I'm like, they can use anything they want, retard.
It doesn't matter. Like you take any platform and just become efficient at it, like it's a muscle memory, and then it doesn't matter. You think it like that 1/10 of a second when the bullets start flying, you don't really.
You're not thinking about
you're all
your
about your muscle
premium
memory. It doesn't
nylon.
matter. Like I'm like, oh
My
God,
pouch.
This
Yeah,
quick
my
eject
nylon
snap
pouch.
just saved me a 1/4 of a second perfectly.
It's laser. What did you think of the statement when it wasn't Glover? Who came out with it? It was who? What was it? What the Medal of Honor winner? What's his face?
Ooh,
What's his face? The one who had the kid with what's her face?
Damn it, I don't know
The one
What's
dude
his
who had
name?
a
What
kid
the
with
fuck is his
what's her
name?
face?
Which one?
He's friends with Crispy. What's his name? The Medal of Honor kid. He was married to the governor's daughter or whatever. Had a kid with her.
I don't know.
Governor's daughter.
Of Alaska.
Oh, he won a Medal of Honor?
Who? No. Who?
The,
I don't
the
think.
teen pregnancy?
No,
Sarah
yeah, but
Palin?
it was they had a kid after. It was after. What's his face? The Medal of Honor guy. Can you look it up, Rory? The kid. You know who I mean?
Palin.
I'm gonna
It's
take
Sarah
a pee
Palin.
break real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. Who was it? Dakota Myers. So
He drank too much Truly.
he came out with a statement. So I'll say it while you're here. He came out with a statement that was like, you know, very anti-LARPers in the gun business and all this stuff. And I like Dakota. Like I don't think that he meant it by this, but like it came off really bad. And it was like he doesn't understand in this business you're trying to make money off everybody. You're trying to make a living off everybody. And he made it sound like only special forces, Navy SEALs, this, that, know everything there is to know, basically. Like, it came off that way. I know he didn't mean it. We all know, like, that wasn't what he was trying to say, but it came off bad. And he took shit for it. And I think some of the misconception is that when you get into this business, if the money's green, you're trying to do business.
Right.
And it's a different animal. And people want to, from the side, especially, that's why it's interesting to see what your thoughts are. They want to come into it like you only need to be this kind of person to participate in this industry, and that's one of the things that's going to hurt us the most.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just any other thing, politics or the gun industry, whatever industry it is. It's going to take everyone that has a difference of opinions working together and moving it forward. It's funny that's how you feel about it, because I always say that when we're talking about politics.
Like, you don't see that in the fitness community.
No, that
there's not as much. Let me put it this way, and this is a good conversation to get into with you guys.
Unique.
Yeah, there's not as much dick measuring at the entry level of fitness. Meaning like jujitsu. If you step on a mat,
no one, they don't have a name.
If you step on the mat in jujitsu, everybody's like, "Oh man, this is great." You know, you're new, and they love that because they could probably choke you out.
It
but
didn't
like,
used to be like that though. It used to be a little more cutthroat.
Little bit.
It's gotten a little better.
When it was garage level, it wasn't as good, but now it's gotten a lot better. But it's very inclusive. Why? Because we want as many customers as we can generate.
Right.
So when Dakota came out with that statement, I know he didn't mean it in that way, but it came off really bad. And there's been guys that have made statements like that have come out and had something to say, whether it was, you know, negative about the guys who maybe didn't serve or didn't have any formal training.
You're saying there's a lot of dick measuring in the gun world.
Oh God.
Right.
Oh man. Oh dude, I got a good story about this.
Good.
So we were out. It was during SHOT Show, and we were out at.
Oh my God, this guy.
And I'm sitting here. I got my son on my shoulders, and I don't ever say I'm a SEAL. I don't wear freaking SEAL.
We went
t-shirt.
out to, what is it, Las Vegas Machine Guns, their
that was
property
your
out
first-
off a searchlight into the hills.
into the hills.
For
But
these-
anyways,
for shooting these sniper
I'm
rifles.
sitting there, and these guys come in and like, and they bring out these gnarly sniper rifles, and I'm like, oh man, this kind of stuff. And I hear him talking to Dianna, and because Diana's like going through her fundamentals, just shooting. You know, she hasn't done it a whole lot. And then he like pulls her to the side and starts hitting on her. He's like, you know,
Hey baby.
yeah, you know what really gets girls wet is like shooting, 2,000 yards,
A mile and a half.
a mile and a half, and I'm
Hearing
sitting,
that clank at a mile and a half.
Tell me you said nothing.
Listen, I didn't say anything.
I
right
would have.
away.
I would have
didn't-
let that
I
marinate.
I just like sitting there, and because like, listen to me, even sniping overseas, it wasn't this like one shot, one kill. It's like, got it, yeah, baby. It was
Perfection.
Like, yeah, so I'm listening to this, and I pulled Diana, and then I come over there, and he starts talking to me, and I think she said, "Oh, my husband served. He's in SEAL teams," and he's like, "You know this, like the name game," which I suck at the name game, right?
Right.
I know the people in my platoon and like who I went to buzz with, kind of, but I even forget it to this day, And I'm like, I don't know him, and he's like, well, let me reach out to some people, like trying to call me out.
Then
there.
he hits up Latrell's wife.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hits Latrell's wife.
Oh,
She's
do
like,
you know Bates?
Bates. She's like, yeah.
So-
She's like, yeah, I know Bates.
The name game thing is a compliment, and we all do it. It's because the level that you guys have achieved that it requires that level of clearance, and it's like it's more a respect thing. And I think there's a way to do it. Like if I'm gonna,
This guy wasn't doing it for that.
Yeah.
reason. He was trying to like prove me off because he didn't know I was married to her. So he's like, he was looking to get it in.
he's trying to catch you.
And then I sit there and
He starts even asking, what team were you on? Is that East Coast or West Coast?
Yeah,
It's
like, giving me-
What?
It's any coast I fucking want.
Yeah.
How about that?
I'm like, anyways, then I watch him get on the range and start shooting. And his
this is
he
great.
didn't look at his scope raise, right? So he was trying trying to make these long range shots, but he's shooting in the dirt in front of him. And like his buddy's behind him trying to watch the trace, and he's like, I don't know where it went. And I'm like, Diana, come here and watch this real quick. And she's like, what am I looking at? I'm like, look about 50 yards in front of him. And the bullet's hitting the ground.
And they keep shooting, trying to find their shot.
And like, I do understand that world. I think it's wrong.
Well, because the problem is,
like,
here's the problem, Batesy. The problem is guys who get into the gun business, and I'll tell you this too, looking at you, the guys who get into the gun business, they're kind of fringe guys, right? They might have been a Leo for a couple years. Maybe they served like, 3 years in the Marines or something, whatever it is.
Dicey?
Not that they never did anything dicey. Maybe they saw a little action, because I know some guys that, participated in the theater of war. I'll say that way. And they get to be like RSOs, or they get to be like instructors at SIG, or they get to be this.
Their identity?
And that's their identity. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Like you don't identify as that. Like I don't hearken to anything back in my past in terms of like, oh, I was this bodybuilder, I was in magazines, I did this. I don't give a fuck, because I've trained everywhere with everybody. I don't care. It's not exciting. I got a book of pieces of paper too. At the end of the day, I don't identify as that. And if anything, I'm old and broken down now. I could lose a fucking thumb wrestling fight right now. I'm not what I was.
Yeah.
And I know that. And I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But I think that these guys identify that way, and every conversation turns into who's the baddest guy in the room.
Yeah, I hate
the baddest guy in the room to me is the guy that makes the most money.
No, it's
and that's what deflates those guys. They're working $30,000 a year to fucking man a range.
I call those people one-uppers.
Yeah.
Right? Like one up. I'm like, all right, never mind, this kind of stuff. If maybe that's the problem then. Maybe we need to educate that. Maybe we need to be like, hey guys, freaking open up.
Yeah, but you're talking about guys that came from that Leo background, or they got high on that bro vets situation. You know what I'm saying? And they're like it's hard to have that conversation. Like, dude, you're in the business world now.
It's an egotistical.
I'm trying to make that. This is the conversation, the direction you have to take it in. You have to say, guys, listen, I'm a businessman now. I really love what I did in the past, but I'm a businessman now. My goal is to create a great customer experience. And my goal is to make revenue for me and my family.
Right.
And my goal is to put food on the table. I can appreciate the balls. You were, air cat, whatever the fuck branch you were in. You were a ninja.
Yeah.
You were a door gunner. Let's come up with,
Air Force ninja.
I appreciate the balls.
Yeah.
Anybody who's put a vest on at any level of service, I don't care if you were a fucking flag waver.
Yes.
Respect. Okay? More respect to guys like this, more respect to guys that actually got on a plane and put their time in.
Right.
But now you're in a different phase of life. Yes. And with those guys, that's all they got. You hit the nail on the head. It's identification.
Yeah,
well, I mean, maybe we should teach this, and those people that identify is that it's your responsibility too to bring more people in.
I don't even know if it's about a teaching thing, babe. I think it's just saying, hey, listen, how much money do you make?
Yeah.
Why don't you just call them out?
That's life. That's how it goes more in life.
Why don't you say?
But I think for guys like him and guys like Ryan McMillan, certain guys out there like Jack Carr, I think it's important to highlight what you're doing now.
Yeah.
And talk about that. Like, you'll be around Jack Carr. He'll talk about books. Jack and I go back and forth about movies.
Yeah.
It's never like 5 years ago I did this.
Oh, yeah.
It's what do you got? Hey, Jack, what's going on next week?
What's going on now?
Yeah. And I think people get caught up in that, and I think they stay in that zone. It's the same reason why professional athletes sometimes can't move on from their professional career.
Being stuck in the past, yeah.
And it's rabid. Yeah. And the key is to move on, and the key is to start to talk about what you're doing now.
Yeah, of course.
And those are the guys I love. And I think too many people get caught up in the past is a dangerous place to live in your mind and in your heart. Because that'll stop a lot of fights at home. Stop living it, let it go. Move on. Shit happens. You do shit in life. We've all done shit in life. It's move on.
So then the scheme of this thing is to not win or not lose this competition between left and
brands
right.
and people and left and right.
Okay, so how do we bring it back around then?
Just like our supplier said, there is so much room in the ammo game, ammunition to make money. It doesn't matter if your best friend next door is going to start a business. It will not be detrimental to your business.
Right.
No, I think that's a wholesaler. I could wholesale if I start my buddy in it,
But that's a healthy attitude. And to have that attitude is rare. And that's what I try to tell people on this show. It's like, you guys have a healthy perspective on it.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that there are some people out there, that do
we're
not.
like that. No, we're very much so like that. I think in any aspect of our life, you know, we have people come to us for all sorts of things, and we're always like, okay, how can we help you?
Yeah.
You know, our friends with whatever they need. You know, how can we help you? And that's what we always try to say to people is, how can you help everybody else and be respectful?
It's all about winning relationships, developing people, and developing ways of understanding how people do business. And the other stuff that we were talking about before gets in the way.
Yeah.
That's honest to God.
No, I'm on this whole tribute now. I'm going to make sure we don't fail in 15 years. How you think we're going to fail?
100%.
No way, dude. No
I
way.
told them.
Not today. Yeah,
Rory, I told them. I said, I'm telling you. I said, we're doomed.
We're 15 years out from losing our liberties.
make
That
sure
ain't going to
that
happen on my watch, dude.
We got to
No
make
way.
sure that our kid takes on our traits.
Good luck. I'll be in a cave hiding. Good luck.
No way, dude. I'll freaking. It has to come back around. If not us, who?
Who's
left?
Politically, the only way it comes around to answer your question.
Yeah, let's think about how we can turn it back around.
Politically, the only way it comes around is if we get a strong middle. Okay, you need a strong middle. Right now, we don't have a strong middle. We have a strong far left. We have a strong far right.
Okay.
We don't have a strong middle. And unfortunately, I don't see rational thought coming into the way of politicians, because politicians are babies.
Right.
And they're very secular. So politically, we're doomed.
Do you think actual Democrats think that we should disarm America?
100%.
You think we should have no guns in America?
100%.
And be controlled by elite?
100%.
That is so un-American. It is so against what our founding.
Can I tell you where we're at right now?
But like, do people know history? Like, it's so against.
You have a senior. Listen to this. I'm going to blow your mind because you're an Eddie Gallagher guy. So I'm going to blow your mind, and this should make Eddie furious. You have a senior congressman.
Yeah.
Sleeping with a known Chinese spy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Yep. Nothing happened to
Zero happened.
Swalik. What's his name? Swally? Swally?
He's literally hanging out with the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
And he hasn't even been censured in any way.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing has happened. It's the one guy who farted on camera.
So tell me.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
Tell me on God's green earth how we win when the media is in the bag.
Yeah.
It's in the bag. It took Cuomo being a hot disaster.
Yep.
Running around. He got on TV and said, I'm Italian. That's why I fondled and groped women.
What about the false dossier that never came out? Just kind of swept.
Forget about that. That's old news.
Probably one of the biggest scandals in American history.
And you know that the Chinese got laptops with Hunter Biden jerking off with a pitchfork up his ass or whatever else. Mm-hmm. You know that exists.
Okay, well, it's up to us then. It's up to us as people. It really is. Okay. What's different?
Is it going to take us to run? But because then you're
Listen,
1 of 50, 1 of 300, and
I'll be God's honest with you. If you want to get 300-400 guys together that want to start to speak up and start to put the right people in place that should be having the conversations with politicians. If politicians actually gave a shit about guns, they would create a panel of gun owners that would speak to them. Yeah. They don't.
Yeah, they don't.
We create panels for fucking sneezing.
Yeah.
They don't talk to anyone.
Yeah, they do have they just think that NRA is the devil.
The concentration of power that's at the federal level, especially like the FBI, is fucking insane. And it's so in the bag.
To me, though,
it's gross.
I fail to believe that the average American thinks we need to be disarmed.
Be careful. We'll be bailing you out of jail.
I fail to believe that, man. I think deep down, if you have that argument, like, no, it's not. It's what we were founded on. The principles that we were founded on is what makes us great. All right? Somehow our founding fathers, how the fuck they put together the Constitution, I don't know. It is very gnarly that they could put together those laws back in that day. Right? But those things still, to this day, is what make us great. So Second Amendment, it's not for to see who's got the biggest dick, who the best operator is.
Tell that to everybody in the business.
Everybody listening right now.
It's not.
Stop big dicking.
Stop big dicking.
No more big dicking.
There's no big dicking. It does not matter. It is the only reason for the Second Amendment is the defense against tyranny. It's so your government is afraid of its people, not your people afraid of its government. That's the only reason. That is the main reason.
You're right.
And you can have all these different. It comes down to that simple little truth. That's it. And as soon as you can be like, well, they didn't have assault rifles back in the day. No, they have flintlocks, but that's what the Army had. Mm-hmm. And everybody says, well, what are you going to do against a tank? Look at Afghanistan. That was a hard fucking war, and we fought it against people on the ground, and we didn't win shit. You know what I'm saying? Look at Vietnam. The guerrilla warfare.
Hopefully we got some lithium. That's about it.
Yeah. maybe in the same thing, but it is hard to fight people that are armed. It is very, very hard. You know, guerrilla warfare is gnarly.
Yeah, the odds of beating an armed indigenous population is very slim.
I mean, how? How do you do it?
Yeah,
it's impossible.
It's very slim.
So what makes Americans have their voice, what makes us fucking, you know, kind of like the assholes of the world, is because we're armed.
Yeah, but Bates, they sold out to the Chinese years ago, and they're listening to the Chinese doctrine, which is slowly make us afraid, then take our firearms, then get us to acquiesce in an international level. They're going to swoop in. They're going to take Taiwan. Biden's going to do zero. They're going to move their carriers. We're going to give up more situational control than we ever have in the history of the United States. You know that's a fact right now. More theater control than ever.
Okay, well then I refuse to surrender. It's up to us to fucking slowly train our offspring, slowly train our friends in a nice
and we have
way.
we have a gun industry that everybody walks around and says, "Oh, my dick's 12 inches."
Yeah.
Okay. All you dick 12 inches, pretend you have a 3-inch dick. And how do you go into a conversation now that you only have a 3-inch dick? You got to be super nice.
You got to be respectful,
you
got to help out your brother and sister.
I wish Rory was sitting here when you told the story about the guy hitting on you in the bay, because that's so indicative of this industry. You know?
Well, I mean,
who's your man? If he's not up to snuff, I should be your man. That's literally what the fucking industry is.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy that it's like that. It's...
Well, rarely people that are armed in America, they think they might get in this freaking gnarly fight, so they're, I don't know. Maybe,
I just had an experience with an egotistical prick over the weekend.
Share it.
We were with Monster Energy in Manhattan Beach for the beach volleyball.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty dope. Actually, I didn't know that it was super popular, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, so this guy's working for the mat team, and he's such a prick. There's two guys there that are working. The guy who's sampling drinks, the guy who's hanging out with the models. Both were in the military. Okay,
I was gonna say it wasn't Hans, was it?
No. Three of us are all standing there.
Jesus Christ.
The three of us are standing there, and the one guy asked the other guy, "Oh, cool, you were in the service?" "Yeah, I was in the service." "Oh, cool, what'd you do?" I was an MP." I fucking hate MPs.
Oh, wow.
And the guy, they both served.
A lot of emotion.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Going on this tangent about how he fucking hates MPs and how they rain on all.
How many years ago was this? He's holding on to it.
No, these are young guys. These are young guys.
He's like 25, and I was like, "Well, what were you?" I was like, "Recon."
I was recon.
Forward observer.
And I could immediately tell, like, okay, this is what we're doing. You're in a dick match. Because were you really recon, homie? Were you? He goes, "Oh, I worked with team guys in 2 and 3. And then I told Ryan that, because I actually don't know the logistics of how the teams work. But Ryan was like, "There's no way. It's like a 1% chance that 2 goes to 3 in a transfer." You know what I'm saying?
No, I just...
when things handed off.
He was a Swift boat guy.
It's just like...
He was 25 years old. The timeline doesn't match up.
He told you he killed Bin Laden.
Yeah. So I just...
But he's just like that guy. He's so big, he's trying to wave his big dick energy around, and it's like, bro.
And the sad part is there's so many of them, it's exhausting to try to call them out.
Okay, so we got to change this then. How do we change it?
I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, obviously...
You got to go looking for him, honestly.
Well, now that we're having this podcast, and I've never really thought that much because I've never really cared. But now
I never did that much thinking.
Yeah, I did. Well, I haven't cared that much about big dicks. So now when I see a guy that says like, "Well, this is what I use," I'm like, "That's great, man."
There's a lot of great people in the bit. I mean, like, there's a lot of great guys. I mean, like I said, you have a
big dickin'.
Yes, a big dickin'. There's a lot of great guys in the industry. Contact the guy from Fieldcraft Survival. He does some good stuff. I don't mind what he does. There's a lot of great guys out there that are trying to move the needle forward, and I see it. And there are people trying to have the conversations. Like I said, in pockets, I do love what a lot of them do. Ryan McMillan, guys like Andy, guys like you, guys. There's a lot of good.
Well, all your guys, everybody watching this show right now, are you training? Are you helping people that don't train, like help them get to the range, figure it out, like understanding how to use a gun? Like,
I'll give you a great example. A beautiful opportunity would have been when we went for the Silencer Act. You remember that?
Kind of. I was in the teams.
Yeah, we had the house, so we were going for the silencer. We should have went for national reciprocity. And a lot of people shy away from issues they shouldn't shy away from. Like, we've talked about this, right? Like full auto. Full auto is a great opportunity to get the instructors involved and have the instructors start to teach. And a lot of people make a lot of to-do, like we can't have a tank. Well, why don't we lean on the instructors, the guys that make a living off of teaching people to teach these things? I think green permits can be more accessible. I think NFA permits can be more accessible. There are ways, but we tackle the issue with our fucking balls before our dick. We go ass before balls all the time. We bend over and give it to them. And we're like, here, like, you tell us what to do. Nobody knows what to do and nobody's what to go for. We had the House and the Senate, and we went for a Suppressor Act. Where was national reciprocity?
Yeah.
Who in the room thought the Suppressor Act was a good idea?
There's so many things.
I love Silencer Cohen. Shout out to Dewey. I'm sorry.
There's so many things that just plays into the whole fact that in the political game, there's so much useless bullshit going on right now. You know what I will say, and I don't know if it's me, just my perception. You know, everyone is different, but it was refreshing to see the news waves stop talking about fucking COVID and transgender rights for a hot moment when Afghanistan happened.
It sucks in Afghanistan, yeah, but at least they're reporting.
It's absolutely horrific what's happening in Afghanistan right now. And you know what? What's the movie that you had me watch the other night?
Oh, The Kite Flyer.
You know, everyone, you got.
Wow,
what's the movie, The Kite Flyer?
You ever watched that before?
Have you seen that movie?
I've made it through it.
Okay.
What? You didn't like that movie?
I do.
He probably stopped watching when the Afghan boy starts raping the Azarian little
Yeah, it's a
boy.
little much.
It's
I gotta get through it.
But you know
Dude,
what?
that's a
I'm
cycle
super
there, man.
pumped that I stuck through the whole thing. I almost closed
No,
my
I
eyes
watched
and
Val Kilmer thing on Prime on Amazon. That was a great thing. The Woodstock one's amazing. If you guys get a chance, watch the Woodstock one.
Val because he's sick, really sick right now.
Super
right?
sick.
Or he's gonna pass soon.
He's super sick, but I didn't realize a lot of his story. That's a good one. I have a lot of documentaries on my roster.
You know, my theory of Afghanistan is don't let wealthy old men have so many wives. Open up the wives to the younger generation, because that's what all. To me, a lot of Afghanis are fighting even the Taliban to make a buck to get a wife. You know, you can't get a wife unless you have a little bit of wealth. I mean, so you walk in, you see this fucking 6-year-old man that's got fucking 15 wives. I'm like, bro, open those up. Let some of these young guys have some wives, cool them down a little bit, man. That's honestly, if I can, like,
That's a great philosophy.
That's speaking from the guy who's been.
That's truth.
Yeah, I was like, I come in, I'm like,
Let everybody get laid.
I was like, yeah, let everybody
get
all the
laid.
young
Like, calm
Afghans get
down.
laid. Calm the fuck down,
That's
dude.
a great perspective. I actually never thought of it in that context.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
If everybody gets some, they'll calm down.
Over there.
Yeah. Like I know when I'm going through it, I'm fucking immediately when I line up a bunch of guys that's figuring out the Taliban, I'll fill their fucking hands if they don't have any calluses, but they have nice shoes. I'm like, how'd you get those fucking shoes, dude? Fucking, you know, muzzle strike them a little bit, move on, and go to the next guy.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But no, I mean, I don't know. Afghanistan's a fucking. And you know what's funny is all these.
Does it make you sad?
Yeah, because
100%.
I got to see how the people are. It is stuck in a freaking, like, you might as well be in the 1800s, you know, like at least where the place I was operating, and it's
The
just like,
Wild West.
yeah, it's just gnarly, man. And like I feel like, you know, Iraq is different. It's a kind of a metro, or it's like a bigger city, you know, a little bit more sophisticated, I guess, but
Urbanized.
Like, yeah, but fucking Afghanistan is not, man.
Developed.
And everybody that doesn't think that the Taliban, oh, you know, these new libtards are like, it's not too bad. You know, the Taliban are being kind of nice. I'm like, dude, bro, they are going to crush people.
What are you eating over there? What is it?
They are going
No.
to crush people.
Tacos.
Tacos?
But there was a letter that came out from the Taliban a couple weeks ago where they were talking about how they're patient, how they can wait, how, you know.
A letter from the
Absolutely
Taliban.
not.
They seem unified.
There's nothing different than them in a mob, a mobster, right?
I'm sure that was a joint statement.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
They rule by fear, and they fucking beat people and kill people in front of their families, and they rule with that strength. And you're gonna see it. You know what? It's gonna happen is there's gonna be residual things we're gonna have to deal with from now on. There's gonna be a haven for terrorists to figure out how to get back into Western society. We should have. Why back in World War II we hit Japan, we hit Germany. We still have bases there to this day. Do we think that we can hit Afghanistan, pull out, and everything's gonna be fine? No, we have to stay there especially that area for generations.
You got to stay there for 100 years.
Yeah.
Fucking
And-
1,000 years.
Yeah.
1,000
All we
years.
had to
you
do
know
was keep
what?
Bagram open, really. That's all we really had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just keep the presents.
Keep the presents.
Keep the presents.
Every place that we go to, if you want it to be Western, you have to keep the presents.
I saw this great interview
Put a
the
McDonald's.
other day.
Huh?
And
Yeah. Put a
America,
McDonald's, yes.
Serious.
Put a
Not even
McDonald's,
funny.
yes.
Subway.
Isn't there a
Yeah.
McDonald's in Kabul?
Once you walk outside the
No,
wire,
there's not.
you need a McDonald's right there. You'll be
There's a
fine.
McDonald's, dude. Yeah.
Oh, it's on the.
KFC.
But this
Egypt
interview
has
was talking
McDonald's.
about this guy, and you know, forgive me, I don't know who he was, but this was on CNN of all things. I try to dabble
Oh,
in it
wow.
every once in a while. The guy said, the dude ends up saying, we had 2,500 American troops in Afghanistan. That's nothing. It's literally troops going in, doing military duty. We were spending no extra money. Our military cycles in and out of bases all over the world. It's just another base we were cycling our people to do their deployments over. So we were spending no extra money sending these people to Afghanistan. You had all our NATO partners in there, and then they pull out like this. Why not just keep it flowing, keep it going, keep them there, keep a presence? It was the worst decision made in modern U.S. history.
Because Democrats don't want the reputation for being war hawks.
Do you think it hurt him though? Do you think this whole thing hurt him?
100%.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think
Big
it's
time.
big time?
I
right?
noted what I noticed that
Maybe this is a turning part to arm
Especially
America more.
considering China and Russia.
I'm going to tell you
both
what
their
I.
embassies are still open over there right now.
Yeah, I'm going to
And
tell
they're
you.
talking to the Taliban.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that the media is starting to realize that Biden is a better story as a fucking invalid. And I think that's when they're going to turn on him. You know why? CNN's running the gamut of milking the COVID thing, and then milking and covering for him is harder.
Yeah.
So if you noticed in the last press conference, they're starting to ask him hard questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're starting to ask him tough questions. So what Don Lemon and all these fucking whatever the fuck they are, I don't even know if they're male, female, what the fuck they are, these widgets that are over at CNN. Because they wear lipstick and they're men and it's weird. It's just
weird.
become weird. Don Lemon's one of the weirdest looking creatures I've ever seen in my life. I don't know
gotten weirder
what's
in time, too. It's
Yeah.
gotten more and more,
Like who's watching that? It's like watching Child's Play or something. It's like watching a scary movie right before your eyes.
Do they have the Kid Cuomo brother on a break right now?
Oh, they
Or
have
is
to
Lemon
because
is Lemon still tossing to Cuomo at
Andrew,
the end of
isn't
his
it?
show?
Andrew, I think.
Andrew, yeah.
Andrew Cuomo.
The governor's a hot disaster. So he was like, they were grooming him. So they've literally hit a fucking wall at each point. So now it's like, what do we do? And they're all looking around like, let's turn on him. You know, like that's the better story. So they know for 2 years they can shit on him. And I think if I was a conspiracy theorist, I might say they were doing that to maybe weasel Kamala in because she's been awful quiet.
Yeah.
But it's just unprecedented. I don't have a situation to draw from like those people that I know high level guys at Homeland in certain places that think that's the way it's going to go. Because Homeland's one of the last left kind of like right wing departments left. Everything else is fucking sold out.
So what do they think is going to happen? Remind me.
I
Homeland
think they're going to
Security?
come all.
I think they're going to turn on him, and some people think that they're going to turn on him because they want him to resign or get impeached, and Kamala will come in as the savior. There's that theory that's out there. I'm not saying I agree with it.
Kamala would be worse off than Biden.
No shit, but the Captain Obvious.
Either that or they realize the bad Biden stories are making them more money. With all the ad
They
revenue.
loved Trump because they hated him, but they loved him because he was such great media. That dude would actually answer questions all day, every day. Trump loved to just chat his.
See, I disagree
mouth
with
off.
you on this whole thing. How you think it's a means to an end, how we're going to be disarmed. I think this is going to be the roundabout. I think this is how
Hope you're right.
gets armed.
either way.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we're doomed
I
either
think
way.
right now.
You think either way we're doomed?
No, I think it could go either way. Right.
It'd go
now.
either
Yeah,
way.
I
we
think
we need to do everything we can
I
to
think
turn
there's
this bitch around.
there's too much wiggle room. There's too much wiggle room, and if the Democrats get smart, like if they sat with people that were really anti-gun that knew how to come for us, they'd tax ammo, and they're gonna figure it out because they're not that retarded. They're close, but they're not that retarded. Someone's gonna get in a room and be like, "Why don't we just put an ammo tax?"
No, it is. That's why.
Someone's gonna figure it out.
Make it so expensive where people can't buy it.
100%. Price it out.
Well, California's.
That's
already doing
another
background
friendly
checks.
reminder.
You know, another thing that we do that we figured out is so California. This actually worked out pretty good because like everybody in California doesn't think they can buy ammo. They have
Right.
to go to the store, right? So none of the ammo companies
Like
are,
lax.
Dude, she cold calls probably like 50 to 100 FFLs a day. and says
not
like,
a
hey,
day, a week.
Wow.
A week.
Well, I
About
mean,
50
there
I was going to say, you want to work here?
There was a couple.
You're cold calling 100 a
There's a
day.
couple days you were freaking hammering.
Well,
them out,
when we were slower with orders, but now that we're getting 300 to 400 orders a day,
Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be judicious.
So what happened was she was calling and being like, "Hey, can we use a pickup?" And she'd find places that only had a $20 transfer fee, and then we have a drop down within 40 miles where your zip code is. You can have a local pickup for $20, and then
it gets sent to the FFL.
The
So
FFL, and they pick it
apparently,
up.
a lot of ammunition companies aren't doing that. I don't know if they don't have the person to head up that department or whatever that reason.
No,
is.
the problem is they don't know how to hire most of them. Not
Okay.
all, most.
Well, hey, so that's me. That's my.
So
I'm the
anyways,
grunt in that
California,
department.
we're arming you. Just go to our website. We'll sell to you. And
Well, somebody asked, they said, does Bates know a good place to take your wife to train in East County, San Diego?
Yeah, Barrett.
Oh, what do you mean?
Jiu-jitsu.
East County though.
Oh, you're
Bear's
talking
thin.
about guns. I immediately thought jujitsu. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah, I was
like,
going to
go
say, in San
Barrett.
Diego, there's a million of them.
Yeah.
I don't think he's asking
know.
jujitsu.
Are you
Yeah, I don't
asking
think
jiu-jitsu?
it's
J-Bo,
asking
ask,
jiu-jitsu.
let me know what you're talking about. Are you talking about firearms training? Because if you're in
Look,
California,
Bates Militia. Maybe I'm going to start, a little.
you should start a club
Bates
inside
Militia.
the ammo company, the Bates Militia.
Well, it's called the Canoe Club for that reason.
I know, but why don't you just like have a subgroup that's like
Do we want to do training? What do we
super
wanna
fans? Do
Super
something.
fans?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we do. We do discount when we'll start a club inside the club where you get
$5
discounted
a month.
And
You get on a microphone and just rant.
Annual membership, and I'll send it to you every quarter for
And exclusive
for
videos.
15% underpriced. Maybe that's gonna be
Exclusive videos like you ranting.
ranting
Yeah, like a 20-minute like your take on something.
on how I believe in America. I do believe in it, man.
He's asking about guns.
We believe.
I believe.
We left San Diego 8 years ago, so I don't know anybody.
Here's the problem,
Everyone we
J-Bo.
know is left.
Training in California is tough. You have to use guys that come in and train from the outside, like people travel there and train. But if you're in East San Diego, I would highly recommend going somewhere like Utah to train. You can find some good guys there. You can find some good guys even in here in Vegas. The PFC guys aren't bad. There's some good groups actually.
That's my
They're
buddy,
really good. Yeah,
that's my buddy Doug.
Chad Lyman and I train together.
Awesome FFL location that we send a lot of ammo to. It's called Right to Bear. They're in Alpine, East County, San Diego. So it's a little ways away from you. You're in Ramona, but there's some rad dudes, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they can probably point you in the direction.
It's
Andrew
thin.
at Right to Bear Arms.
Yeah, it's thin in Cali, but you can find some.
Yeah.
Hey, another thing too with training, everybody that's another thing that I feel is a problem is trainers hate on trainers. Be like, I wouldn't train that way. I get so pissed
You
off.
went there.
I get so pissed off. Be like, no, ours is the best way. Ours is, you know what? Even
Everybody trains different.
everybody trains in the teams too. Like
Muzzle up.
muzzle up, muzzle down.
Navy, muzzle up.
All you have to do is be proficient. Be proficient in your act. You're going to be 100 times better than anybody
I
else.
saw a kid, right? One time I was at a train. This is a fucking crazy story. I was at a Boston SWAT training. I could say who I was with, but I'll reference in force if anybody needs bona fides. So I could go deep and verify this if we need to. But I was at a training and I saw a kid, the way he was training. I was like, you definitely got trained by someone in the Navy somewhere. And sure as shit, he goes, I went to a Dynamis class. He goes,
Oh,
I went to
because
a
they're muzzle up.
Dom's class because he was
Like,
muzzle up and the way he was moving.
I'm a big muzzle up because I'm a believer in muzzle strikes. I love them. I muzzle struck the fuck out of everybody. You know, I broke my hand in Afghanistan and from punching somebody once. And after that, I just muzzle struck. So I always like that muzzle up so it's quick to a muzzle strike, you know?
And SEALs typically don't like to change shoulders. Typically, what I've seen, they don't
Well,
like to.
if you're trying to clear that corner and switch left to right, I mean, you better train the fuck out of it because I got this good story.
Shoot.
I freaking got in a gnarly piracy attack, right? And it's actually on YouTube. My angle is not on it, right? But I'm shooting, and then I try to go to a left arm to shoot around. I shoot a couple times, but you know when bullets are flying,
You're like, I need to be strong
I'm
here.
like, wait, what the fuck? What
Yeah.
eye am I looking through? Shit, never mind. I'm going back to.
I remember asking Dom one time at a training. I said, "Why don't you teach shoulder changes when we were working the VTAC, thing?" And he goes, "Bro, I've been in a million mud huts. I refuse to change shoulders."
Yeah, because it's what takes over is muscle memory, and like unless you do it, like you're so good at switching strong eye to light eye and going like this. There's no fucking way that's gonna happen. When the bullets start flying, dude,
you want to be strong.
Yeah, you're just like shit. You know, be strong.
I get that. And that's like guys who take that hard line with how to reload. It has to be this way. Listen, you reload. The best instructors I've ever been around, they say, we'll show you the best technical ways to do it, But when you're in a shootout, you reload any fucking way
Well, you can, yeah.
Any fucking
And
way.
the more you train it, the better you'll be
Yeah.
at it in that situation. I was lucky to train shitloads of times. So if I try to train a different tactic, but when the bolts start flying, that old muscle memory will come back. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, my point was, don't be trainer haters too. Like some people like to train one way, train another way. Just train.
Just
train.
move around.
Just move around and train. Be aware, because as soon as you start training, your field of vision opens up and you see more.
Right.
So just pick a technique and train it all the time.
And don't be trying to big dick your
Big
training
dickin'.
weapons.
Don't
No
be-
big. I
don't
like
be-
that though. Somebody said that. I can't take credit for it. Somebody said, "Don't be big dickin'."
Yeah, no big dick in
His
no
best friend says I have big dick energy when
She
I
does
talk
have
about
big dick energy. Why she comes.
that's how
This is why my wife has big dick energy. Is because I'll work and I get tired through the day. She'll be like, "Let's go, motherfuckers! I'm working twice as hard as you." I'm like, "God,
I need a nap.
yeah.
I
that's
need
what
my
he's
nap.
doing.
I like
that
that.
At 1
nap.
o'clock,
You
he's
will-
hitting the hay.
I
and
need
I'm
that
like,
nap.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
I'm
I
like,
like a
bro, we have 5 orders left to do today.
let's go, motherfucker."
Every so often, you must be like, "Honey, come here, smell this rag. Go take a nap. Go down,
No,
calm
she
No,
down."
he doesn't. No, he doesn't say that. He just comes up behind me and puts
Yeah,
it in
put
my
it to
nose.
sleep.
I'm out.
Yeah.
A little,
Yeah, I
throw a
choke her out of
darce on her.
A
when
little
she's not
chokehold,
looking.
and I'm out.
It's awesome.
No, but yeah, no big dick energy when it comes to training.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
The trainer thing's so old.
Hate the trainer.
I hate the trainer.
Trainers talking about trainers.
You just have to accept that there's a hierarchy, and there are great trainers out there, and there are okay trainers, and you just have to do your research when you request training. It's like anything else. It's like fitness. Find the guy in the gym that looks like they know what they're doing, but then graduate from that guy.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was in the IFBB, you guys, I gotta tell you though, I'm old as hell in
Stop it.
consideration to the IFBB.
Dude, I gotta piss again, dude. This is
Go ahead,
crazy.
go ahead.
Stop drinking the Truly, man.
All whacked out on ice water.
The IFBB, I'm really grateful that I got in that industry and got out when I did, because I haven't been in there since I want to say like 2012.
Yeah.
I did my last Olympia and I got 4th place at the Olympia, which was like a total win for me because I was 30 pounds heavier 3 weeks prior to the Olympia. And so, but the fitness industry, that's the shitty thing about the fitness industry. At that time, the girls were so catty. I mean, they tried to act like they were homegirls. They were not homegirls. And I wouldn't doubt if it was still the same way now. This whole thing of, girls support. I'm like, you're a liar. That's not what you did at all. Okay. You're a little, you would rip my heel in half before I had to go out on stage if you could have. You know what I'm saying? You had to keep all your shit tight to you. You didn't mess with that. You didn't eat their crispy, whatever treats they were eating before they went on stage. You didn't touch them.
Poisoned.
Yes, I'm serious.
I know.
It's
At those levels, it gets into that measuring contest in almost any business. And that's why I say we're going to fail, because I've seen the warning signs in the fitness industry.
Right.
I've seen it play out, and I've seen how those shows have died, and I've seen how that culture has gotten a little funky.
Well, the crazy thing is that the media has really died, but you know who's just rolling in the dough is those show promoters, man. The NPC,
that's the only way to make any money.
The first shows that you do before you qualify and get to your pro card, and then go to those dudes specifically are just rolling in the loot nonstop. So I mean, and
'Cause
then
they're
it's
creating the
it's a total
carnival.
monopoly too.
Yeah.
You cannot get into that industry
What is
unless
this?
you're.
What are you talking about?
The IFBB. But I've been out of it for so long. But they kind of hated me because I speak my mind, and I would call it
Dun,
out.
dun, dun.
I would call it out.
Dun, dun.
Honestly, I didn't know anything about it. I just came in. She had ripped abs and a big ass, dude. I loved it, dude.
And she was like, "I do fitness," and you were like, "Not anymore, baby."
It was his dick.
Yeah, that's it. Not anymore, baby. That's over. So, how long have we been going? Oh, wow. We got to wrap up.
Hour and 30 minutes.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
We've been talking a long time.
Listen, you
Good
guys
times.
are local. I can have you back on.
yeah, we could do number 2.
Listen, shout out the name of the company, everything you want to shout out and toss.
Canoe.
Guys, go check out their stuff.
Canoe Club USA. But more though, my message is that I want everybody to
Every American out there.
to have a pistol or a rifle, just one.
And shoot your ammo.
And shoot your
Shoot
ammo.
your ammo. Practice. Be good at it.
Shoot
Get
your
it-
ammo.
Yeah,
Shoot our ammo.
Get a little bit of training. Get a little bit of training from somewhere out there, and then just practice twice a year. Just do that as a good American patriot.
That's like bare minimum twice a year.
no, just
okay?
as a good American patriot. Have a gun, know how to use it.
Dry
and then
fire once a month at least.
Have
Yeah,
that. Have
get
that
your-
confidence.
Get some friends, girls. Especially girls. I mean, I try to
You
really
know, the only thing
encourage
making
girls.
girls and guys even in this world is, a gun.
Especially us women, we're like, either your husbands, your partners, whatever, they're taking off for the weekend and you're home alone with the kids, or you're just home alone in general. Dude, I know my mind is in total chaos when I'm home alone. I'm like preparing for World War III to happen at my house. I'm preparing for rape, murder, all of it. So I just know that you need to have your guns prepared. You need to know what's up. You need
Pepper
to know
spray
your
and your
exit points.
cornflakes.
Yep, you need to have the bear spray. You got to have everything hidden, and you're a little.
I'm just telling you, like, even she's talking about being a badass fighter and stuff. I'm like, babe, it's gonna be hard for you to kick the shit out of a guy. No matter
I don't
what guy
need
it is.
to kick the shit. I
But
just
if you
need to
can
know
pull
where
out
my
a gun,
gun's
it
at.
makes
and
Did you ever
Even.
take her to jiu-jitsu or anything?
Oh, yeah.
She's actually kicking the shit out of some of the guys too. Actually.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, she's gnarly.
I just imagine that they're gonna try to rape me, and then all of a sudden I get this like ninja strength comes out of me, man.
She's gonna learn like a little sweep. That's
I
it.
do.
She does,
No,
she
I do.
does.
And I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
I love the
Yeah,
rolls. I
a
get
good-
that they don't expect me to be able to roll them. I just grab their like belt and I just yank them
Yeah,
back.
wow.
and
she's pretty
roll
good,
'em.
man.
Don't train in the gi then.
I do.
Why? We do train.
No, fuck the gi.
Why?
Well, no.
dude, I'm a no-gi guy.
Because there's no, if you
It's not realistic?
It's not realistic.
Yeah.
I'm not against the gi. Let me say this: the reason since I've been going to 10th Planet, I've become anti-gi is I've trained with guys that come from solely from the gi, and I'm going to reference one of Ricardo Almeida's guys. I'll
Yeah.
throw a name out there that I've trained with. That's a good buddy of mine.
Yeah.
He's very used to grabbing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
say, grab right now. Grab my T-shirt. Tell me if it's going to be a worthy thing to hang on. You are never
Yeah.
getting a choke with that.
It's hard for me to go to. I always did no gi my whole life,
Yeah.
and I was a good wrestler growing up. It's hard for me to go to gi because I keep using grabs, not
Right.
leverage of the gi. So a lot of small guys will leverage. I'm like, what the fuck? I'll try to rip their hands off.
The
real
gi
quick.
is an ancient way of doing it. And I'm sorry, Henner. I'm sorry, guys. I graduated GST. I got much love for that shit. I love it, but the gi is ceremonial at this point, in my opinion.
All my street fights, I just punch them in the face.
Yeah.
choke 'em out,
Punch them in the face.
It's all a management of all fighting is a management of distance. That's all fighting is.
Close the distance, take them to the ground.
How you manage distance
Yep.
is everything.
Yep, 100%.
All right, we got to go. Shout out everything. You got to shout out the company.
Canoe Club USA. Come check out our
Good
ammo.
guys.
I'm always going to get a discounted price. I think I'm always up in the top 5% of America for cheap prices, and I'll keep finding cheap prices for you guys. I will make sure I always have ammo for you guys to buy.
Canoe
We
Club.
keep getting banned on Instagram, but
Yeah.
we keep trying to get it back. So Canoe Club USA on Instagram. We have 2 of them. And canoeclubusa.com, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Go give these guys a follow. They got a worthy cause. Ammo is 100% the most worthy cause right now. We need it. So we need people like this sourcing it and making it happen. Can't thank you guys enough. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it. It means a lot.
Thank
buddy.
you.
It's
Thank
good
you for inviting us.
conversation.
No, I love having you.
I'm
I
turning
mean,
America around now. From that. Fuck
Listen,
that
we'll-
15 years. I'm going to fucking make him fight back, dude. Here we go.
we'll do another one of these for sure.
Okay.
Because this is good. It's some
Yeah.
good dialogue. I want to
Get all
shout
fired
out.
up now.
I want to shout out all the sponsors. Shout out to everybody on the website, www.johnbartoloshow.com. There's a complete list of sponsors there. Go check them out. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the Warrior Poet Society Network, please go subscribe to them. Use the code Bartolo. Tell John Lovell I said hi. Tell all those guys I said hello. Let them know. Go sign up. Tap thumbs up. Leave a review, a comment, something. Something. When does Ammo Cop start for Black? I have no idea when that starts, Daryl. Sorry. Shout out to Blackwater. We love them. Listen, I appreciate everyone. I appreciate all you guys. Please, a thumbs up. Go watch another video. Support the show. We're out.